Everybody, welcome to this weekly Inside Real Estate Marketing Support session. We're kind of changing up the format of these a little bit. We had to renew the GoToWebinar link, but they are all recorded. And if you want to see the replays, it's conversion.info/replays right now. They'll always be posted there, and they'll always be posted to both Facebook groups, the KV Core group and the Conversion Plus group. So conversion.info/replays. I'll make sure there's a link to that always whenever this replay is posted. So if you're watching a replay, you can see all these episodes here in this YouTube playlist. There's a bunch of good stuff in there. Last week we touched on Alignable. Really, there's a nice library of stuff related to driving traffic and converting traffic in there. So there's a small group today. What we're doing with the format here, we're still trying to figure it out a little bit. But this is your chance to ask any questions you might have. Specifically, you can try to ask me support questions about the platform, and I'll probably have the answer, but more like related to driving traffic and converting your leads. So if you say you're running a Facebook ad or a Google ad and you want me to take a look at it, or if you built a landing page, we're trying to set these sessions up so that you can get that kind of support live from week to week. And I'll also just kind of dive in randomly on stuff. I know sometimes people are shy and they don't always want to ask questions. So hit the question bar if you have anything. In the meantime, I'm going to head on over to the group. There was some really good stuff in the conversion group this week that I thought I would just maybe touch upon a little bit in this session. So this one right here got a lot of responses. And if you could, I'm going to take a break. Can somebody just let me know that you can actually see my screen and the Facebook group on the screen? It's not always safe to assume that. Great, thanks, Matt. That's great. All right. So this question from Kendra was, I'm updating my drip campaigns today. What is the one drip email or text that you get the most responses on? And I saw a lot of people kind of followed this and commented on it here. I see there was a lot of follows. And I think, I also replied, and I think the reason, there's just something I want to bring up that came to mind. I think the reason people ask this question and they want to know the answer, and I understand why, is because they're looking for, like, you want a magic sort of automated way to get people to finally reply to the emails that are going out. And I just think from a higher level strategy perspective, especially these days, we've got Zillow.com, we got Realtor, and all these other business model type things popping up where people can go and search for real estate online. And it is going to keep getting harder and harder for us to just use an automated system like Conversion or KV Core and count on them to generate us a whole lot of response. Now, you know, I work for the company here. I'm not saying that these are not awesome tools for getting you automated responses, but if you really want the magic pill, so to speak, and people to follow up, people to reply to the stuff that's going out, you know, from the drips. My opinion and my answer was that the script is, hi, here's a video I made for you about XYZ, and repeat often. I was being a little snippy. Maybe it was pre-coffee that day. I don't know. But basically, my theory is that the drip campaigns you build, you should use the automated ones. They work great, the default ones in the system, but the ones you build should really be a nice blend of your own content. So if you're constantly, maybe every morning, 2 to 3 times a week, recording screencasts, doing tours of properties, a lot of that stuff you're recording can be evergreen. So Kendra asked, you know, do you put those on drips or do you mass email them out? And my reply was, well, it's a little of both. If you record something that is relevant always, then you'll put it in a drip. If you record something that's timely, then you would put it you know, on a mass email. So example would be, you got an open house this weekend. That is not a drip, that's an announcement. So you're going to announce the open house. If you record, say you go into your contract software and you fire up Screencast-O-Matic, right? That's I talk about this tool a lot, screencast-o-matic.com. That is going to be something, where'd it go here? I lost my window. That is going to be something, and you fire up Screencast-O-Matic and you record something in your contract like, what is the home inspection clause? Sorry guys, I got myself thrown off here a bit. What is the home inspection clause? When you do a 5-minute spiel about that, here it goes. That would be an example of something evergreen. So I put a link in that post here, and I can drop it to you guys. I had done a webinar about 2 months ago about all these different content ideas. And if you go through the ideas, it'll kind of become pretty clear to you which of those are probably evergreen and which of those are blasts. And if you really want to build out a powerful drip campaign, that's what you'll do. Okay, so let me get, I'm really hitting home runs here today, guys. Here we go. I apologize for technical issues I'm having. I found a dead link under the video. Sometimes, you know, in a copy and paste that I did earlier a couple months ago. So I need to fix that. But I want to get you that doc. So does everybody have any thoughts on that? Are you guys regularly creating content out in the field, and are you adding that to your drip campaigns? I think the point of my rant there is that if you can commit to creating content, you will naturally build out awesome drip campaigns, because you'll create something and you'll be like, oh, why don't I just send this to everybody automatically as they come into my fold, you know? So let me go find that doc since I teased it. Real estate blogging ideas. The videos are all on the Facebook page, which is where you see me going right now. And I wanted to run through what some of those were. Here we go. Thank you for your patience again. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So, for example, here I have an example of a post, what to blog about. So this was in the context of blogging. And of course, any content you create can go in your blog. When you send a drip email out, you can link back to the blog with the content. That's the body of the drip email. But here's sort of some of that stuff. If you're doing a featured property, like a property of the day, a just listed, a just sold, those are all event-based stuff. If you're doing a niche-focused property search, say you create a link, you go to your site and you create a link to all the fixer-uppers in a specific city. That can be an evergreen email that goes out in your drip campaigns, right? I can go here and I can say everything in Pinellas County with 5+ bedrooms, just as a shortcut here. I can run that search, and this link in the window is always going to be the same results. It's going to be the live results for that search, and a lot of people don't know that. So that link you can always put in a drip email, and it'll always be the same. It'll always show all the 5-bedroom plus houses in this county or whatever the search was. So that would be, you could build out a nice drip campaign with just a handful of those. You can do property search. You know, today's featured property search is XYZ, and pepper 4 or 5 of those into your drip campaign. Another one, 5 hacks for first-time home buyers, right? That would be an example of sort of something that comes to mind. You record a quick screencast video, as I did on that document where I have the example link. Here, I'll paste this to all you guys. 7 things you'll need in order to get a mortgage, 3 hottest neighborhoods to invest in St. Pete, Florida. You could record that video. The 5 highest or lowest priced homes in the area. You can run a search and sort by the price. So that's kind of where we're going there. If you run the search, just run for everything, and I've kind of got my highest price, and you just link to this and it'll show them that and see the 5 highest, or you can sort from lowest. That would be an example. So there's that link. I saw that in the group this week. I thought it would be a cool thing to bring up on this marketing session today. And again, anybody who's arrived late, if you have any questions at all, I'll entertain them now. That's kind of what we're trying to do on these sessions now, is just kind of jump around between different marketing ideas. And if you need support, if you have landing pages, ads you're running, questions about best practices for converting leads, we're here to do that. Let's see what else we had here. There was something else. Should you turn off a drip campaign or for a lead and just keep the alerts? I thought that was interesting. I don't know. I guess you can go either way, but keeping the alerts definitely at all times, even for people who you sold the house to already. So when you get a past client, in order to keep them in your fold, you want to leave the alerts on so that they know what their house is worth. It's a nice way to stay top of mind with them and get them referring you to people. Let's see. I have a lender forwarding the internet leads. Just have an email. suggestions on a good drip campaign to drive them to my site. Again, we get a lot of these questions like I just answered, and the answer is always create some stuff, right? Create some content, fire up Screencast-O-Matic, write a blog post or two, and pop those into the drip so that people can engage with your content and you can position yourself as an expert. But the first thing you want to do, you know, as a lender or as an agent, if you're getting leads from the other person, is to simply say, hey, I work with, say the person's name, are you looking to buy soon or not? How can I help you? And the more conversational and less formal you can be with that, the better, of course. Just do it like you're talking to a friend and you're there to guide them along. Oh, this was the question. Yes. Okay. I feel like I'm just talking to myself, guys, but I know attendance is low because we changed the GoToWebinar link. So if I'm going too fast or too slow, just comment. It helps me out a lot just to get a little interaction and know what's going and know that you're all alive out there. All right. So the question here was suggestions on the best ad platform to convert leads. And I thought about this for a second and realized that this was an issue that I've actually been dealing with a lot among the different things that I'm involved in. I run some ads here internally for Inside, work with some other, you know, people and mortgage and things like that. And one of the things that we've really kind of arrived at in a couple of ventures, so to speak, is this idea that you can run fresh traffic via Google, right? You run Google pay-per-click ads so that you get the high intent clicks and leads, and then you retarget with Facebook. So to take a step back, you know, for those of you who don't run a lot of your own traffic, the big difference between Facebook ads and Google ads, when you think about quality, is that Facebook people are being interrupted in their stream, right? You've clicked on a Facebook ad and you're usually scrolling through and it's kind of like, oh, you see something cool, but you didn't have a lot of intent for that thing. You suddenly became interested and maybe you click and you become a lead, but it's not burning on you. Google, of course, people are sitting there, right? They're at google.com and they're searching Tampa, Florida real estate. Well, if you want hotter leads, you know, people who are more likely to buy now, it's probably going to be this person searching Tampa, Florida real estate. And this is part of the reason why we always recommend everybody here have some ads running and why we offer the a la carte services, both the Facebook and Google's, because we know keep your pipeline full, you're going to need a mix of these two things, sort of the shorter term intent people and then the longer term Facebook people. So I'll answer both those, Matt. Thank you for those questions. The Google search here, you can quickly go on Google and show up at the top. Now we have a whole, in the replay list, I'll paste the playlist all you guys. We have a session on each of these things. We have a session on Google Ads, Google AdWords real estate lead generation strategies, and we have a retargeting webinar all about how to do Facebook retargeting. Sorry, Mark, your name in the, probably when you registered, I do that all the time too. It just came up MATC, so I keep saying Matt. All right, let's do that here. There's the link to the playlist. So the idea would be you're going to get the click here, somebody searching Tampa, Florida real estate, but then over in your ad account in Facebook, you have your pixeling people, right? When they land on your site, there's going to be their information is going to be kind of locked in with you as far as the marketing platform is concerned, and you're going to have these audiences of people. Now, you don't have to get too sophisticated with this. You can just have one audience right here, and it's just everybody who visited your site. And then you can start to follow them around the web, showing them ads. So I'm getting a little jumbled here, but basically the answer to the question was, if you want the best combination, that's what I would do if you want to run the most efficiently with your money. Now, if you just want to jam your database full with a lot of leads at the lowest cost per lead, because you're going to be in business for the next 5-10 years and you know that you're going to do a great job incubating, I also recommend just running cold traffic from Facebook, because you can put a lot of people into your database fast with Facebook. But if you just want as many fast conversions as possible, Google for the initial click, Facebook retarget. Mark asks, can you put the Facebook pixel in ads? So how that works is that the pixel actually lives on your site. So I'm going to go to my site now. And I'll recommend a tool for you guys. It's very useful to have if you're doing this stuff. It's a Chrome extension called Facebook Pixel Helper. And if you look right up here where I'm drawing my cursor, it says 5 right there. And that's basically showing how many pixels I have installed on the site. I've probably installed the same pixels a number of times, but that kind of tells you if there's a pixel installed on the site. And to get your pixel installed, I feel like I do this on every episode. You can watch that retargeting webinar, but it's basically in the asset library of your Facebook ads. And then you go to pixels and you can send that over to support or self-install it if you're on KV Core. So the answer to the question, can you put the Facebook pixel on ads? They don't get put in the ads. They get put inside of the web page. Now, you can target people who have looked at stuff on Facebook specifically. So for example, I have audiences of people who viewed 20% of a video. And all of this is covered in really good detail in that YouTube playlist and the retargeting webinar there. All right, so Google, initial click, retarget with Facebook. I think we can get off now and you guys would have gotten the cost of the price of admission, because if you're really just trying to be, you don't have an unlimited budget and you want the combination, that's it. And then for all those leads you get, make sure you do drip campaigns that have actual content of you doing stuff. don't just rely on the automated things. And this is the kind of stuff that's built into, don't mention this tool enough. I think I built it years ago at this point. But I see some people use it here and there. We have this calculator, and it roughly kind of gives you variables on your cost per lead based on whether or not you have rich follow-up going on. So here's that link right here. All right, does anybody have any questions at all related to the marketing you're doing right now? Is anybody here running Facebook or Google ads already by yourself, or are you hiring somebody to do it? Just chat in the box. Cool, Emily. What kind of ad are you running? Are you running Facebook, Google? Great, Mark. I think you guys will really like. I've done a number. We did kind of a 6-month period where we went through all the different channels. So if you're new coming into conversion, just know that this library here should be a really good resource for you. Because unlike today, where I'm kind of going very unstructured, each of these episodes is a sequence step-by-step how to do specific things. So if you want to know how to run landing pages, if you want to do promos for open houses, you want to do Google AdWords and run ads, you'll find that all here. So Adriana says she's running squeeze pages. Emily's learning Facebook ads. Yeah, so I think a really good start would be to use squeeze links, where you create lists of properties and you drive traffic through those using Facebook. That's kind of a quick way to get started. And if you want, I can just kind of show myself doing that. Say I just started today and I just needed to see some quick leads coming without a lot of technical stuff getting in the way. So let's do that. Let's just run a simple ad. I'm going to go to my website. Now I'm going to log into KV Core. My EXP site is set up here, but it works the same on both platforms. So I'm going to use KV Core, but in conversion, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just a different place you go to get it. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think about what the hook or property type I want to build a squeeze link for. Now, for me, I've always really liked, just because of the nature of it, I like doing deal type offers, fixer-uppers, foreclosures, things like that, just because I know that it's sort of a sexy, for lack of a better word, kind of thing that people will reply to. They kind of feel like they're going to get a good deal. And you'll get a lot of people opt into that. Not a lot of them very serious about buying now, but if you want to build your database fast, great. The other way to go is to do stuff like land. You can do new construction at a higher price point, things like that. So let's do, just for fun today, let's do new construction. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the lead engine section in Core. And here we go. And I'm going to build myself an IDX squeeze page. In Conversion Plus, it's just under the leads section. It almost looks the same, just, you know, it's called the same thing. So I'll click Start Building. Then I'll do my county. And then listing type. Things going a little slow. So we'll just do single family. Things can tend to lag when we're on GoToWebinar here. And then down at the options, basically everything you see me doing right now can be an ad idea, right? Almost all these options can be a separate type of ad you run to a different demographic. So I'll do newly built. And then I'm going to put my source as Facebook ad, just so I know it came from a Facebook ad. And then my hashtag will be new construction. Okay, I had it in there. And this way, all this stuff tracks in the system and I can see my results. So I'll click check my link. I'll grab the link right here, either the short or long. Now we'll head on over to the Facebook account. So you've got your business manager account all set up. I'll assume, and we're going to create a campaign. And I'm going to keep it simple and just do a traffic campaign. It should be the first one that's checked off. So this is just to get raw clicks and traffic over to your site. And one of the nice things about our websites with Core and Conversion Plus is that there's built-in lead capture. When somebody lands there, there's going to be a pop-up that gets them to register, and we kind of know that from Facebook traffic, I don't want to quote because it's different in every market, but you're going to be somewhere in the 5 to 10% range of clicks signing in. On Google, it'll be a bit higher because there's more intent, going back to that thing we were talking about later. So, but I know I can just send traffic to my site and a certain percentage of people will sign up. So let's do Tamp Pinellas new construction test. Okay, hit continue. So one of the things we've been toying around with, I don't know what direction it's going to go in. You guys give me feedback. Would you find it useful if there was, I'm kind of leading you here, but would you find it useful if there was instead of a like 45-minute webinar where it's just a run through, if there was a step-by-step course on all things Facebook, for example, or all things Google within the membership area, you know, within your members area? Let me know what you think of that, if you find it useful, or are you buying other courses and getting this info elsewhere? Because I sometimes wonder, it's hard to get everything squeezed into one walkthrough like this. All right, so my target here, I'm on the target section, and I will pick St. Petersburg, Florida. One thing to watch out for is everyone in this location, where it asks for location. Sometimes you may only want to do people traveling in this location. Where I live, a lot of people move here from out of town or they're on vacation. So I may only want to target vacationers or people who live in this location. So for now, I'm just gonna go with people who are already here within 25 miles. I'll pick an age range. So we're doing new construction. I'm gonna go a little bit more mature. We'll go like 33 up to all the way up to in the 50s. Keep it all genders. And then I can go detailed targeting. One of the things, they've gotten rid of some targeting, but if you go by things like married, probably people more likely to buy a house or be moving and selling another house. You can do college degrees. You can do job titles, right? So if you only work with doctors, right, you can show an ad, be physician. The job title physician should pop up. And then once you get one, you can suggest a number of others. Just one word of warning, when you try to get too narrow, you may end up paying a little more than when you go broad per click, because you're kind of competing with other people who are zoning in on that one audience. So say I wanted to target doctors. In this case, it's new construction general. I'm just gonna go for married people. Okay. And what a lot of people are recommending, and this is why it's important to kind of learn what's involved with retargeting, because everybody is now using platforms like Facebook and it's getting very competitive. The way to look at these campaigns, the initial traffic, is not only to generate some initial leads, but to get a lot of people in your retargeting pixel so that you can start to build the relationship and get additional touches. You know, a lot of people who click this ad, probably 9 out of 10 are going to bounce right off. But if they can kind of see my brand and my name and keep seeing it in retargeting, it's going to increase the conversions by a lot. So the reason I'm saying this is because I don't want you to think that you're going to run this ad and get a whole bunch of leads right away at a very excellent cost per lead. You may get lucky and do well. Just know that your blended cost per conversion, you know, cost per closed transaction, is going to go down by a lot if you do the retargeting and you start creating rich content for people to follow up on. If you just do what I'm showing you right now, you might get okay results and be happy with them, but it's going to be much better if you do those other things. All right, so next section here is the placement. So I'm targeting married people. One thing I've been doing a lot, this audience network tends to be kind of lower tier traffic, so I've been taking it off. It's kind of like the display network on Google, where they just show the ad wherever they can, and it's not necessarily that great, and it's suspect in my opinion. And I've been doing fine with getting rid of that. And then a lot of times I select only when connected to Wi-Fi on mobile devices. Now you can choose only desktop back up here. Just know the cost per click will probably be higher and it'll be a lot slower to get traffic. But those are things you can split test and test. Yeah, Adrienne is asking, can you just do a public post and share it for public groups for free? You sure can. Yep, I have my own opinions on that. If your budget's limited and you have time to be doing those things, sure. A lot of people generate leads that way. I tend to lean toward the paid traffic because paid traffic's the kind of thing where once you got something set up and working, you can just turn it off and on, you know, and get results on command. But yep, both ways work. And then I'll set my daily budget. And there's two ways to look at the daily budget. If you just want to know if something's going to work out, right? If you just want to know fast, set this high for a day or two. So a lot of times I'll go 20, 50, sometimes $100 a day for 1 or 2 days just to see if it's going to work. Because once you get something that works, you can then lower your daily budget and you just know. If you set it to like $3 a day, it's going to take a lot longer to find out and get that gratification. So that's totally up to you. In general, I would say if you say I've got $300 to spend on ads this month, I might spend, you know, 100 of that just testing a couple of ideas and see which one works out the best, and then scale back to whatever it needs to be, you know, $3 a day for the rest of the month on whatever ad's working. All right, so I'll just do daily budget of 20. We'll leave all this optimization just as it is. We're going to pick our fan page. Now, you do need to have a fan page to run ads off of. You can actually click the plus button and create one on the fly if you want. I'll go here, find one of my pages. Opportunity knocks. Mark, link clicks is fine. The landing page views will be a little more expensive. That's like somebody who try it both ways. I always do link clicks, and then when I try landing pages, I always feel like I get less traffic, less fast, and that's a feeling, not a verifiable based on any real data. But link clicks should get you there. And then single image. Yes, and so this does link to your business page. So when the ad runs, we're going to see a preview. It'll actually show your business page in the stream of the person, and it's kind of important. This comes up a lot where that title of your business page actually affects how that ad looks. So this is a new construction ad. Now I can take a picture of one of my own listings, but what I like to do just when I'm testing stuff, just to get an ad out fast, and then later I can refine by trying new images, I'll just search for new construction. So I might have just done that quickly, I realize, and I apologize, but I'll show you where that was. They want you to pick an image. I picked the stock images option. You can always upload your own, but we'll pick like, this is a pretty nice looking house. You know, something that you think people will think is cool. This is really cool looking. So something that catches your eye will probably catch other people's eyes. And then I don't have to hassle and fuss over the image a lot. Later on, I can try to do fancy stuff like put new construction in it. I've done webinars. I've showed you guys a trick where I put Spider-Man on the front lawn to try to pattern interrupt to get people to stop scrolling. You can do all that stuff, but just for a basic ad to test, that looks like a good image for me. And now we're at the part where we can put in our website URL. That's the squeeze link we built about 20 minutes ago at this point, it feels like. But there it is. And then here's a format that should work pretty well for you. So I'm going to go to this link in terms of the copy of your ad. So what I usually do is I'll go Pinellas County new construction homes, right? And I'll say priced from, and I like putting the numbers in. Numbers seem to get higher click through, and it stops people's brain. And for whatever reason, numbers work good in ads, and also in Google. I always try to get numbers in my ads. So we'll do priced from, and if I go to the list view, looks like, so the highest priced is 1.9 million. Oh no, it's not. So I'll sort by lowest to high. I'm trying to just get a rough idea. It doesn't have to be exact. So the lowest price new construction listing is 140. The highest priced is 4.9 million. So 5 million. So, and I'll go price from 140,000 to 4.9 million. And it's a really simple template. It's been working for me for probably 5 years now when I run these types of ads. One of the things I've been doing lately, I'll give you guys a link to this, is using some emojis in the ads. I have a link here to one of the emoji sites I use, kind of show you what that looks like. So we can do, for example, search for house. And everything I'm doing right now with these emojis, totally extra. Don't drive yourself nuts. It just makes your ad maybe stick out a little more. It may or may not get you a higher click-through ratio. I'm not convinced about them, but they're kind of fun. So I put a picture of a house there, and then I put see the list now as my headline right here. And then the newsfeed link description, Pinellas County new construction homes. So, and then one of the things I think may be working well, I think it looks really great on these emojis, is to put the hand one. I'm just having a little fun right now, guys, at your expense, but here we go, the little pointing. But it's kind of a fun tool to play with, and if you're gonna be running a lot of ads, it's definitely something to try out. And I'll put the hand in the headline, and it's kind of pointing over to the right to the learn more button over on the right side. And I was saying a minute ago, you see how that sort of name of the fan page, Propertunity Knocks, sticks out as a headline. That's why I like that fan page for ads so much. It's kind of a weird thing that sticks out. You could do things like St. Pete real estate deals, awesome houses. Try to make that exciting. One thing that could either work in your favor or against it is if you put your name in the fan page. Just know you may get less leads, but the ones who actually opt in may be more okay with hearing from you, so to speak, because they know there's a realtor behind it right away. So just something to think about. I don't think either way is better, wrong, or right. You're probably just going to get a cheaper cost per lead, but the quality might not be as good when you're hiding behind the page name and you don't have your name in it. So that's a very basic ad that I just put there. When people click that, they're going to go here to the list, right? And they're going to click through on some properties, and they're eventually going to opt in. My opinion right now, as I said in the beginning, is that it's getting harder to compete with Zillow, Realtor.com. It is becoming more challenging to get somebody to opt in here, but just know that if you've got the retargeting piece all set up and you're pixeling, you can then keep running ads back to those same people. And it stands to reason if somebody clicked on your ad once and they came to your site and engaged, there's a good chance when you follow up and you run ads at that audience, of course, they're going to be more likely to opt in. And the more they see your site and get used to it, the more chance you have of getting them. if this is a builder, good question, Emily. Emily's asking, if you have a builder home without the MLS, how would you link your Facebook ad to it? So one simple way would be to just put a picture of it and a link to wherever the description is as a post on your fan page. And then, let me save this here. I don't really want this to go live, but I want to be able to come back to it later. But you would put it as a post on your fan page, and then you can run an engagement ad objective. You can also do a blog post about it, right? Put it inside a blog post on your conversion site, and then link to that instead of your squeeze link. Those would be two ways to go about that. And here's what I'm talking about on the engagement. For a new builder, if you can somehow get in there, like you probably can. They're always just sitting there. They need somebody to talk to. The people sitting at the builder homes. But if you can get in there and take a video and walk through the house as if you're giving a tour of the property to a buyer, and you post that in stream in Facebook, as a post and run traffic at it, you're going to probably be really happy with the results. That's going to stand out much better than that ad that I just did, which is kind of just generic. So that's how you would do it. You can either create the content on Facebook, run an engagement post, and pick the post off your ad, or just run a clicks to website where it goes to a blog post. Cool, no problem, Emily. How was that, guys? Did I go okay speed on that? I am starting to think more and more that a nice library of all different stuff related to Facebook, a big box in a course format might be a good idea here, because it keeps coming up. And I actually recently bought a really advanced Facebook course for myself, and I was impressed by the way it was laid out, and it was like, this is really useful. So I think in the coming months, maybe I'll talk to the other folks here, and we can get something like that out for you, with specific examples for conversion. All right, well, we're coming up on about 35, 40 minutes. Is there anything else? Emily's asked another question. Anything else you want to ask now? Emily's asking, can you post a builder home without the MLS on your website as a post? I don't see why not. It might be cool if you told the builder that you're doing it, but if the builder is already kind of saying they're going to pay a buyer broker commission, I doubt too many builders would be like, stop advertising my property, so wouldn't worry. Give them credit, say built by XYZ. Those kind of conversations, I know a lot of people turn those conversations into nice opportunities for themselves. When you walk into a model home for a builder and you go, hey, I specialize in working with new construction. Do you mind if I run some Facebook ads for this unit? Not only will they say yes, but they might say, oh, tell me more about that, and who knows, maybe you get some more inventory out of a deal, or you get like a favored, maybe about the builder's listings before other agents because you're helping them out. Maybe they co-market with you in some way. I don't know, maybe they help on the ad budget and send all the leads to you, yeah, that idea, Emily, I think a lot of agents around the country do. You could cruise around, take next weekend or whenever, go around to all the lonely people sitting in new construction and ask them if they mind you marketing. I bet you come up with some good opportunities just doing that. And especially for people who don't have any inventory, take the builder's inventory, make that your listing inventory, advertise. It could be a great way to get buyers. And we all love a new construction transaction where you just kind of send somebody over to the model and then a check shows up, because a lot of times they'll handle a lot of the work. So yep. All right, guys, my mouth's starting to get dry from talking for so long. So if there's not much else, I'll give you a minute to ask more questions. We'll definitely get this recording live in the group. One thing we may try next week is doing this as a Facebook Live to get more engagement. So you might see a note about that from us. Maybe we'll kill to go to webinar. I really want to try that out. And I think that would be a good strategy for you guys too, just an extra tip. Try doing Facebook Lives here and there and see what you get out of it. All right, thanks, Emily, for the feedback and the participation. It really helps. You too, Mark, for everybody who participated. It just makes my life a lot easier. So thanks again. And we'll be back next Tuesday at 3 o'clock, probably as a Facebook Live, possibly as a webinar. All right, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.